All right, here we go. Episode 8. Some stuff answered, some more questions, a whole big mess of things. We're all running on fumes here after last night's auction. Let's go around the horn real quick. Jem, how are you doing this evening?
I'm beat, man.
Okay. Matt, Chaos Matty, how about you?
Yeah, man, I'm excited. I gotta this keep me awake. If it wasn't for doing this, I'd be sleeping. But this got me. I'm a little pumped to see all the people tonight. So let's do this.
And new to the show, Agatha Butchness, how are you this evening?
I'm good, man. Guys, the auction was great. I got all your stuff out this morning, so expect it Monday or Tuesday. But I am hurting right now. hurting.
All right. Well, I guess we should just get right into it, huh? This was an extra long episode, and there were rumors, right, that these last two were going to be kind of long. I still hear rumors there's going to be a 10th episode. I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Man.
I give it a 10% chance.
There's
Hopefully a longer last episode, but I don't even see that, man. The way it's been going, we'll see.
There's a lot to cover. I mean,
What is there?
in one, I think there is. So obviously we are going to go over everything. There's going to be some spoilers, guys. And let's get right into it. So if guys, feel free to cut me off too, if there's something you want to talk about when I start going through everything.
I'll have
All
books to pick up, guys. Books you definitely
Oh
want
yeah,
to
we are
God.
going to talk about that.
Get that pen ready.
get
Here
that
comes-
pen ready because there will be books.
Latest rumor saying 50-minute finale,
I heard that. Yep.
which is oh, here you go. Marvel and Disney confirmed today episode 9 is the finale.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how long it is.
One more
though.
left.
I don't
Yeah,
believe
one more
anything.
left.
Yo,
This
I
this,
don't
been
believe
fun,
anything Marvel says anymore.
this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
definitely like a plot revealing episode, right? Like this is like how everything happened. They kind of explain something we'll get towards the end, different than what we thought it was going to be regarding Vision's body, right? So we'll get into that, but
And the one thing we could say is they didn't touch on that book. They did
Nope.
not touch on the book. So
Nope.
let's get right into it. This episode even opens up with a bang. So did any of you guys notice too right away during the whole Marvel Studios introduction, it turned purple when normally it's red?
Yep.
Yep.
That was like right out of the gate. And then we're thrown into what seems like a witch trial, which is a witch trial, but by witches for a witch.
yeah. What was the thing about the Salem witch trials, which was like the Easter egg, right?
Yeah. Yep. And those photos were leaked a while ago.
Okay, yeah. So that was this.
Yeah, I think it was just basically,
Mhm.
a bunch of good witches trying to
Right.
brandish out a bad witch, and one happened to be Agnes's mother. But we all seen how that went.
So
Yeah, and
Agnes,
the reason was
what,
that
she's
she was
practicing the dark-
practicing dark magic. Yeah. So
And they dropped a couple of episodes back. They dropped that date for the Salem witch trial.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was the date that they dropped.
it kind of, even with the spoilers, right? Even with the pictures and the leaked pictures, we had no idea that it was really witches on witch.
Right.
We didn't know that.
Witch
So
on witch action.
Don't when some of this stuff, and I
Gotta
think
stop.
we've all learned by now, right? When some of this stuff gets leaked, don't feed into it too much
Right.
because we've seen Marvel put fake stuff in trailers.
It's out of
Oh, yeah.
context too. You don't know what it is.
There was
Right.
and there was tons of rumors going around IG and I'm sure Facebook and Twitter and Reddit of all different show notes, and none happened to hit, man.
I didn't even
Yeah.
read those.
Yeah.
Nothing was on point.
Damn.
So-
Nothing that I saw so far. So
All right, so we're on the witch trial. It looks like maybe a half a dozen, 8, maybe 10 witches, all surrounds. They have Agatha, I guess, right? And they put her on the center stake there. They handcuff her with a blue type of magic. And I think this is all important because of later in the episode when we get to
Definitely.
Wanda, blue. And then we learn quickly that as they're blasting her with this blue magic, I would imagine they're trying to put her down and kill her.
So wait a minute. Is Rambeau a witch?
somebody said that. I heard somebody
Yeah.
else say that because that
He got
blue, the blue.
power, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Great. No, that's good. I didn't even think
That's a
about
good
that.
observation, Jem. Yep.
Look at this guy. See, we're all running
Look at
on
the big
fumes.
brain on Gem.
so it looks like all these witches are blasting Agatha. with that blue magic, and she's playing games right from the beginning. You know, she's nervous, she's scared, and then all of a sudden she's laughing at him. She's saying, teach me how to use it. We can use it. And they just don't even want to hear it. They're blasting her with the blue magic. Before you know it, it looks like she's absorbing them, their energy, their magic. It turns from blue to purple. Her mom is watching as all this goes down. She wipes out all the witches but her mom. Her mom, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this. So her mom hits her with the blue, and it almost looked like she had a crown.
Yeah.
Like around with the blue.
And that's going to come back to the scene we were talking about before the show, Gare.
Yeah, I know. We'll touch on that too. So after that, Agatha takes her mom out too, and with it, her brooch.
Yep.
What was the deal with the brooch, though?
I don't know now.
Family heirloom?
The brooch still has that Grim Reaper with the 2 kids on it, so I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit of foreshadowing, but you see where she gets it from. It's pretty much the origin story of the brooch.
Yeah,
right. That's the next Disney Plus series. So, we leave the witch trials, and now we're back in Agatha's basement, which is where we left off last episode.
Yeah,
and Wanda's looking for her kids. Agatha has introduced herself. She's got the bunny in her hands. Wanda's ready to take her out, and it just doesn't happen. She's in a.
You see those. You see the spells along
runes,
the room,
right? Did one of those runes look like a Magneto helmet, or maybe a Wanda?
It had the double M on it.
Yeah, it looked like a Magneto helmet.
But she basically tells Wanda, "Listen, I put a hex on here, and there's no magic in here.
Only I can use the magic because it was my spell." She said she was controlling Pietro, but really, see, here's the thing, man. Really, she says her eyes and ears. It was just a possession spell.
Well, she says a fake Pietro, and then she says Pietro.
Yeah, but she was controlling him.
Right, but what's weird to me is that he still has powers, right? He's still fast.
So was she controlling him because she said just his eyes and ears? So I thought that was a little strange.
To me, that debunks the Pietro is Mephisto thing. This was just a rando from the crowd that Agatha said, "Okay, we're gonna use you as Pietro because he's dead, and I can't resurrect him, and his body is somewhere else." So,
she could resurrect him,
but his body wasn't there,
right? In another country and full of holes.
And I think the casting is just Marvel messing with us, and I think that's like one of the reasons why this didn't come out like a binge show. It was one of those things where we're gonna end these episodes to keep them talking for a whole week. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just messing with us.
She called him a crystalline possession. There you go.
But my question is, how does he still have that super speed?
I'm still saying
Vision had the shit too. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like
that's true.
And maybe we'll get to that later when we talk about Vision. But I don't think that means anything. I just think that means she enabled him to have those powers.
I hear you.
That's totally possible. I'm gonna try to say he's coming from the Fox universe, and she yoinked him out of there. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
That's what Gary wants.
That's what I want
that to happen. I don't want these rehashed X-Men. I want new castings. And
it's funny you say that. This is why I don't know if Magneto is showing up.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but
I think it's what you and I talked about, and we're going to get to that later too. I don't think it's Magneto.
We could get into Magneto. Why don't we progress into her scenes when she's back home as a kid, and then
who's that? That's her father and mother, right?
Yeah, but they were always adopted.
Okay. They were always adopted.
Yeah. So, all right, so we could squash some other rumors too in this episode. Agatha takes control of the cicada, and I fell for it too. I thought it was a Mephisto. Great Easter egg. Congratulations on Marvel, right? They got us all. If you had thought that was Mephisto listening and watching, it can't be. She takes control of him. She turns him into a bird, and then
she feeds it to the rabbit. Now, how's the rabbit eating a whole bird viciously?
No, it's cicada. It's switched back.
Switch back.
But still, rabbits don't eat cicada,
right?
And now I got people saying that the bunny is freaking Mephisto.
Something's going on with the bunny for sure.
Maybe the bunny is just some crazy witch pet, man.
Listen, guys, it's March. April's coming back. That's the Cadbury cream bunny.
Oh, there you go.
The Cadbury cream company made one commercial, and they've used that every year.
Oh,
Yeah,
since we were kids,
exactly.
man.
Smartest
said,
The
marketing in
lion with the
history.
bunny. Every animal in that
They have the
commercial is
tightest
dead.
budget on that marketing.
They're still, the lion with the big bunny ears on it.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Yeah,
They're
those
saying
Cadbury eggs hit though, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do hit.
So
They're saying the bunny maybe is her son, Nicholas Scratch, right? Because Senior
Or-
Scratchy.
Yep.
I heard that. I could see that. I
There
mean,
you
it's
go.
got the same name.
And that's just a little nod to the source material.
100%. It
Could
could
be.
be. Yeah.
No big deal.
So at this point, Agatha wants to know exactly who Wanda is. This whole time we thought we had known, right? We knew, we thought sometimes she was helping her. We thought that really she was just watching her.
She
And
wanted to know
waiting.
how she did it.
How
Well,
did she do all of this?
I was gonna say I'm gonna I have something at the end, but I want to lay a little groundwork. I think it's interesting how it progresses, and Agatha realizes that Wanda really doesn't know anything about witchcraft or her powers or what she's capable of.
But she
And you
is a
see-
witch.
And you see the progression of that throughout the show,
Right.
and that ties directly to comics, and I'll talk about that at the end.
She and you learn that, like Matt, like you're saying, she does. You see it progressing through the episode. Agatha's like, okay, and starts learning. She's like, all right, I'm putting stuff together. I
You
have
were
a theory here.
traumatized, and
And then we keep going. So from this point on,
Hold on, I want to touch on that. I think I was on Big's show this morning, New York Warriors, right? And I was talking about like they took a little piece of a backstory from Age of Ultron and they fleshed it out and made it a whole visual journey in this episode. And I just thought that was so cool how far we've come in the MCU that we're able to do that. Just pick a little piece, a little story that they told with being kids and the Tony Stark missile and it dropping and then not knowing if it's going to explode or not. So I just really appreciated that. I was like, damn, that's why the MCU is killing it.
this is just great. This whole episode was phenomenal writing. This whole series, I thought, has been great. Not only are they doing nods to comics, the MCU, to all the fans, but they're telling a story throughout and keeping all of us like guessing, like what is going on.
100%.
This is not straight. This is not straightforward. We got a $5 super chat. Wayne Watts confirms Mephisto is not coming. Unload all your SS3s here for cheap.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
I don't think he's coming either, yo.
Wayne,
He's coming at some point, just not.
I'm still saying
They're not, yo. It was Mephisto all along, man. They already told you it was Agatha all along, man.
Yeah, no, not in WandaVision.
I'll
But
tell
he's-
you what we're gonna
he's
see in
coming.
the last episode. If maybe we can get to it towards the end, but I have a theory on what's gonna happen.
Oh, we're
Okay.
gonna go theories by the end of this, but in another 30 minutes, we're gonna talk theories because we're gonna blow through this. Now, at this point, Agatha is bringing, and this is cool for us to watch. Agatha is bringing Wanda through her memories, through her emotional moments, and we get a glimpse of what's going on with the TV shows and her past and whatnot.
So cool to
And,
see where that came from too. Like, why the sitcoms? And then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's how she learned English.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very
And it
cool.
was part of all this childhood trauma.
Oh, yeah.
And her trauma being with Von Strucker. That was so perfect, man.
It was a great writing. Home of the NY Warriors, $5 super chat. Shout out to Jem for joining us this morning on Comics and Coffee.
Yo,
Thank
that was
you,
12
guys.
hours ago, bro. I've been up all damn day with this shit.
What up, big?
It's been wild. So the first stop on the Ghost of Future Past, Present, and Future here is Wanda, Pietro, kids. And I thought this was great, man. This whole scene was awesome. You had two loving parents with an optimistic view. You saw them. They weren't like these run down, beaten, and just people. They were full of life, optimistic, happy in a
what was going on outside?
war-torn country. Right. Well, that's the thing. In this war-torn country, they're still showing optimism and they're there for their kids. And it's movie night. Like they're trying to live that normal life. And you see it. And you see it in the kids, how happy they were. They were just loving it. So we're in Sokovia. It's movie night. And he shows all, the father comes up, opens up the what was it, like a briefcase or something, and shows
I
all
think I think he just opened up a hole in the wall and took.
Oh,
the
that's what it was,
briefcase.
right? They're like hidden.
Well,
And it was
Yeah,
like an old Nike box. But the
And-
best is they show that wholesome home, and then the mother looks out the window and sees
Right.
people getting gunned down in the street. That's how growing up
Yeah.
in Mount Vernon was basically.
But the thing was, you saw her face. It was like, all right, this is normal. No, there was no fear, just more like annoyed, I guess. So
yeah, it was just of the norm, But
Just, here we go.
It didn't affect their home, so
no. And what was cool too with the Nike box or whatever is you see all these DVDs of what we've seen.
Right. That I noticed that too. I was like, man, they're straight showing Malcolm in the middle, like right now.
Yep.
And I think one of us said a bunch of episodes back that this is probably Wanda's memories of when she was younger and what she could watch. She grew up in war-torn Sokovia, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said it.
She specifically said on Dick Van Dyke, season 2, episode 21, which was that episode about a nightmare. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's again great writing, great storytelling. So they're watching Dick Van Dyke, and did you guys notice, like, she's focusing in on Mary Tyler Moore, the mom of it.
Right.
And I don't know about you guys, but I jumped a mile when that bomb hit.
Oh,
yeah,
I was
when
like,
the bomb
I
hit,
jumped.
I was just kind of like, oh man.
I didn't think I jumped. I think I was expecting it. I think I was kind of seeing they were going to set up that scene because I was like, all right, where's the Tony Stark missile at? And then boom, they played it out.
I jumped a mile when that thing hit.
What? They suck you in and they kind of lull you. You're like kind of getting all nostalgic and shit. And all of a sudden,
you
it's
know
like,
nothing good was going to happen. They're in Sokovia and it's a war outside. They're watching Dick Van Dyke.
So the parents die.
Wait,
right?
hold on. Can I just say one thing,
Yeah.
Them as kids in Sokovia had better reception than you did last night during the auction.
What is that about? I think I'm telling you, I'm moving the whole thing into the living room.
we got to talk, Gary.
Yeah, what the hell is that about, man?
We'll talk.
All right,
that's
so
Sokovian dial-up.
Oh god.
I'm surprised I wasn't in black and white. Archangel 089 with the £5. Monica called engineer. He in episode 6, we've not seen him. Your Luke level cameo and engineer we're dealing in Mystic and Magic. I give you Victor Von Doom.
Nah,
Luke level is Doctor Strange, yo.
That's
I'm
funny.
with Jem on this, I believe.
It's
and we'll
because
get
it's
into
supposed
that
to tie
later.
into the multiverse of madness, you know?
Yep.
And
J-Hope.
maybe something happens with Quicksilver there. I don't know, man. That's the only thing that Doctor Strange movie has the multiverse. So, like, what the hell?
I'm still holding out for Blue Marvel. I'm telling you.
But who cares about Blue Marvel? That's not a Luke level cameo. And even
No,
with
it's
Doctor
not.
Strange, but
It's not. It's definitely not a Luke level character.
Doctor Strange is Luke level in the sense that this is a movie person coming onto this. Well, I guess so is Wanda though. But who in the show is from movies, right? You have Wanda, the 2 agents, and Pietro, and everyone else is just from the TV show, right?
And Agatha.
But she's not in any movies.
Oh,
She's new. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
you're gonna
this
get
is a movie star Cumberbatch coming on. I don't know. I think it's going to be Doctor Strange. But anyway,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's-
We'll get into it later. I think at this point it's going to be Doctor Strange. So they're in Sokovia. The bomb goes off, and now we all know this scene because it's been talked about probably a couple, 2-3 times throughout Wanda's appearance from Age of Ultron. Is her and her brother under that bed looking at the Stark bomb, and it's not going off. And and we all talked about this, but coincidentally, again, I'm going back to great writing. The first episode of this series was in black and white. It was the Dick Van Dyke style episode. The commercial in that episode was the toaster. In this scene, she watches the Dick Van Dyke black and white.
Blink.
And in that first episode, you got the beeping toaster with the red light, which is that bomb.
Yep.
This is important because a lot of these commercials get referenced in this episode, which is fantastic. So what looks like an emotional mutant moment, it looks like she's stopping this bomb from blowing up.
Yeah, it almost she reaches her hand out like this, almost like she had these powers.
And Agatha even said, like, so you stopped the bomb, right? And she's like, no, I didn't stop it. It just never went off. It's like, this never went off, right?
What a really important detail there, and I'm going to tie this in later on, but I just want to say it now so people remember it, is that she says, what did you use?
Probability hex.
Probability hex?
Yep.
That is, again, directly from the comics. And essentially what that means is early on when Wanda didn't know what she was, it's basically she's using her magic. She just doesn't know how she's using it or how to stop that certain thing. She's just basically doing something and hoping that it works. And that's what hex probability is.
Right.
And that, again, ties directly back to the comics. So I thought that was a cool nod.
It seems like they're hinting at the fact that they're mutants, so that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jem there. I think she was born with these powers because how else would she know to throw her hand up? She kind of had a feeling as a kid, which debunks the whole Strucker thing, because now we know
What?
she had those powers
Nah, it doesn't
before.
debunk. It doesn't debunk
it.
the Strucker thing, because I don't know. I don't want to jump too far, but remember what Strucker said. Everyone else who came in contact with the Mind Stone died.
Right.
So why is it that Wanda and Pietro didn't die?
Because we're going there right now.
Okay.
Well, that's my thing where it debunks it. So they basically had these powers before the experiments were done on them to give them these powers, because that's what it was led to believe early on, that Hydra gave them these powers.
No, they got to retcon that because now they have mutants. So we thought Hydra gave them the powers and made them miracles, but really they're just the only ones that survived contact with the Mind Stone, and maybe the Mind Stone unlocks something else that was already within them.
Yup, and that's exactly what I'm saying is what it debunks is it debunks that Hydra created them and their powers.
Which we needed to.
Yeah, which we needed to.
Big's got 100%.
Right here.
He's got it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with this. Home of the NY Warriors again, $5. Thank you so much. Wanda was born with the powers, but the Mind Stone amplified.
Absolutely, 100%.
I agree with that.
But Agatha even says that. Like we're jumping 2 scenes ahead, but she literally says, she's like, so basically you had something. You were a baby witch that you're basically would have just died on the vine if not for the Infinity Stone that just superpowered you. So
this is actually where we're going right now. We go from Sokovia to the Hydra experimental lab.
Yep.
And she cracks open the Mind Stone. They're doing experiments. Really quick, James Lynn, $5 super chat. James McAvoy comes in as Professor X. Is it that? I don't know. And then we also have Rob Green with that $14.99 super chat. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. So we're running experiments, and like you said, everyone has died that they've run experiments on using the Mind Stone in this Hydra lab. In walks Wanda, and we get, no pun intended, but we get a vision here where I don't know if she cracks it open or it opens on its own, but it shatters.
She didn't crack it open because Thanos cracked it open, and this is the other thing, like you
mentioned. No, he opened the Tesseract.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. He got the Mind Stone from Vision. But this was in the Scepter. You're right. So maybe she cracked it.
I don't remember what happened. Where did they get the? No. Didn't like Thor or somebody crack it?
In Age of Ultron, they gave him the Mind Stone to make Vision alive.
Yeah.
So it was also weird that her encounter with the Mind Stone didn't show up on the video that Strucker's goons were.
Well, I was gonna say, did that actually happen? Like, did it actually crack, or was it just like the essence of the power, and that was just symbolism? Because, like you said, on the video, nothing happens. Like she's standing, and then she's on the ground, and then the scepter's still there intact. So I think it was just.
So it's a vision that it gave her because she did come in contact with it. And then it even gave her a vision of something as she was looking at it, which was like, what, a foreshadow maybe? Or it looked like it was a vision of Scarlet Witch, which kind of ties back to Agatha's mother having a crown when she's using her witchcraft.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Joseph Shaw with a $5 super chat. Agatha straight up reminded me of a therapist making Wanda relive her trauma. The only way forward is back. It's true. She's trying to wake her up or learn something from her.
Yep.
But the one thing, it looked like you're going back to Agatha's mom. Agatha's mom wasn't a Scarlet Witch, though.
No.
She looked like a powerful witch. She did have the crown, right? Or what looked like a crown. So she was powerful. We know that. And Agatha still wiped her out real quick. Like nothing.
So what made Agatha so strong? See, that's the thing here. And that's the only like last chance of Mephisto. Ralph, and who taught her the dark magic? Who made her more powerful than every witch in her coven? Like that's kind of like not explained yet.
Yep.
We can talk about I'll talk about that a little bit at the end with the black magic and versus chaos and how it all kind of ties
Chaos
together.
Maddie has a lot to talk about this episode here.
I got a lot at the end. I don't want to ruin anything.
So you guys already touched on it. There's like a deleted scene. The Hydra guys are looking at the playback of the video, and they basically see Wanda standing, walking, and then boom, she's on the ground. So nobody saw what Wanda saw. Wanda sees the Mind Stone within the staff, and she sees what seems like a vision of a Scarlet Witch or the Scarlet Witch. Now we move forward. This is when Agatha is starting to put things together. She's starting to put things together here. And now we're at a very emotional, one of the two probably most emotional points, not only of this episode, but probably the whole series, is the conversation that she has with Vision on the couch or on her bed at Avengers Tower, wherever they were at that point.
Well, they first kind of fall in love, I guess.
Yeah. Also, if you remember, if you go back, she's watching something on TV. What was it in that? Was it? Well, screw it. We'll go forward. She's watching Malcolm in the Middle with Vision.
Yep. When the porch collapsed on the dad.
Yeah. The commercial for that episode was, I believe she was on the island with the yogurt and she couldn't get it open, right? That commercial, the yogurt commercial. The conversation with Vision totally surrounds that commercial of loneliness and there's nobody with me. And it's just a great, again, it comes back to writing, but great going back and forth, the banter between the two of them. Anyone?
Yeah, no.
You said, now that you said that,
you're 100%
it's crazy
right.
because that is and would appear as a great white shark and what appeared at the end of this episode.
Ooh, see? It's all relative.
Yeah, I think that's all like good, clever writing within the show. I just took that scene as they're showing us how they came from becoming acquaintances or Avengers to becoming like intimate, you know?
Yep.
Another important part of Wanda's life, right? And progressing and just we hit a lot of emotional points here. And this is the last one and we learn a lot from this scene is the next place we go is the S.W.O.R.D compound.
Crazy.
And Wanda's there. She wants Vision's body and she is completely cooperative.
And why does she want his body again? I'm trying to remember.
Bury it.
She wants to, she supposedly wants to bury it.
She wants to bury him.
Oh, she went back to the battlefield and his body wasn't there.
Oh yeah, and then she goes.
I'm like, yo, where's he at? I want to bury him.
But again, the most important thing here is just how cooperative she is. Other than breaking the door open and eventually breaking the glass, she meets the director.
He doesn't attack anybody.
Yeah, and Hayward is actually cooperative. Other than saying you can't take a bajillion dollar
buck, he was like, "Look, yeah, exactly."
So here's my thing with that.
I understood. I was like, "That makes sense."
Yeah,
I think that in my opinion, and I'm sure the chat's going to disagree. I'm sure the panel's going to disagree. Some of us, but I think that basically debunks him as a villain.
Yeah,
he's basically saying, "Listen, we can't let this machine that was designed to be a weapon get into the wrong hands. We can't just bury $3 billion worth of vibranium into the ground. That's not going to happen." And and then that's when Wanda basically loses it. And like Jem said, he has the point. Like, what villain's going to dig him up or find him or recreate him? So
hold on. There's a problem with that though. I thought he was so pissed because she stole his body and created this hex. But what do we find out in this scene?
That she didn't steal the body.
He didn't steal the body. So why is he so pissed?
Because there's still more there.
Maybe he wants the second Vision.
Yep.
Maybe he wants another one that she created. Maybe he's nervous that she created this weapon.
So now that we know, and it was pretty sad too when she was like, "I can't feel you," when she was trying to, look at it. She was feeling for his.
But that was enough for her. Did you notice at that point?
She was good after that,
she
right?
Was good.
Even at that point, Agatha got sad, man.
Yeah, right. NY Warriors again, $5. He's still a villain. I believe he let her get close to him to see if she can activate.
That's some villainous type shit.
Yeah.
It is. But even he was. I mean, look. He told his guys to stand down. He let her do her thing. And is he still a villain? I mean, is it me or does every villain have a reason for what they're doing? Nobody's really.
I don't see him as a villain anymore. That's just me.
No, Jay, you make a lot of sense. There's just some question there because somebody said he wants two visions, but I think we've seen that vision can't survive outside of the hex.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
So I don't really think that's the thing, but he definitely seems overly aggressive for no reason, and he's taking it personal, and maybe we'll find out in the next episode why that is.
There's a lot to. I still think there's a lot to cover in the next episode.
I just want to know: is Ralph just a made up character that she just said?
Ralph's Mephisto, just like Hayward's Mephisto with the cicada and the bunny. Everyone's Mephisto except.
What if everyone's Mephisto?
Everyone. The new Vision is Mephisto. I haven't heard that one yet.
Feige is Mephisto.
That. So, in my opinion, the most emotional part of the show is coming next. So there was two major emotional parts of this episode, maybe three. Her seeing Vision's body, her talking to Vision, talking about how she's all alone, and this next upcoming part where we learn that Vision essentially bought this plot of land and was in the process of building this home for them.
Yo, but real quick, Biggs just said, yo, Hayward did show them a video of Wanda stealing Vision's body, but she didn't do that.
Something's up with him.
Like Matt said, he's up to something. I just don't think he's.
Well, we know what he's up to, I guess, at the end of the episode.
Right,
but is that what that was, right? To throw him off. I got the body still, but she's better.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because he showed that was like episode 4 or 5. Like he showed everybody Wanda just tearing up the joint and taking Vision's body.
But yeah, I think that was a smoke screen so he can create. Well, actually, he did so he could reform Vision.
I was going to say maybe the whole thing was because he seemed really mellow this episode as compared to he was really intense the rest of the time.
But so this was a flashback.
But was it? No, I'm talking about the end. I'm talking about the very end.
I don't know.
He was cocky.
Right. So I think if you piece it together like this, right? He knew that he needed the hex. He knew that he needed a portion of that power to power up, the Vision that we see. I don't want to get ahead, but we see Vision at the end, So he knew he needed that. And then he knew he needed to get rid of Monica and Wu and all them. So he just made it seem like you guys are wrong. So now he got what he wanted. He got them out of there. Now it's like, all right, I got everything I wanted. So let's do this,
Now, is this true? Because I don't remember. Did he not? They never showed him.
He implied that she stole.
He implied
it, right? The way he cut it up, it looked like
maybe,
it.
But it was implied.
Yeah, they showed her busting in.
So what's interesting is that there was conversation, I think last night, like, can Vision survive without the Mind Stone? And it's like, the Mind Stone just gives him consciousness, right? And a soul almost, whereas a little bit of that chaos power can make it a robot, a functioning robot, right? Essentially.
And a fully powerful Vision, basically.
Yeah.
An emotionless Vision is scary.
First of all, he's still made of vibranium.
Yeah. So she goes into Westview. It is a rundown piece of crap town.
Right.
I mean, you see the depression in this town. She finds her little plot of land. She has the deed with the little note from Vision. Like,
you see all the cast of characters like as regular people.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Not all of them is right.
Not all of them.
The mailman?
No Dottie.
See him.
We see the mailman. We don't see Dottie.
No Dottie.
Dottie's the other witch, right?
Yeah. She's got to be something. Yeah.
I think she's important, whether she's Enchantress or Jay. Who do you think she is?
Arcana.
Arcana. So she goes to this house now. We have Wanda's in this house, and just the emotion pours out. Kudos to Elizabeth Olsen. She has absolutely crushed this whole season. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Ooh. Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Catherine Hahn.
On another level.
For her as an actress after this. Before her Scarlet Witch scenes in the MCU movies were nothing compared to what she did here.
Yeah. It's almost like they didn't give her enough.
Like they didn't give her a shot, right? But now she paid her dues and now everyone can see.
Wayne Watts, $5. Now, I agree with this right here. I'm so confused about this. Anything to Westview being a real city that she just altered, but the police in episode 4 said it didn't exist. Am I missing something simple?
There was only an east view, right? That's what I'm saying. I was saying that when we were doing this. I'm like, I thought they said it wasn't a real city, but now all of a sudden it was. So maybe there's still something going on with that.
Yes, there's something weird. Or were the cops in on it too? I don't know, because I feel like they left real quick.
Or did Agatha kind of put a little spell on some people to be like, stay the hell out of here. This is I got to see what's going on in here.
Totally possible. So she, in this emotional breakdown, constructs the house. You see the hexagon, right? The hexagon just come out, and as it covers stuff, it's black and white. Yep. And now we're going back to that first episode. We're seeing almost the origin of WandaVision.
So my thing about that was like, so Agatha's answer is, oh, you were just really emotionally distraught and just exploded your powers out, and that's it. How does that help her? Oh, I guess it lets her know who she is at the end of the day, right? With the whole Scarlet Witch.
She still didn't know what was going on, right?
Yeah.
We still don't know at this point.
Okay,
And
well,
if
yeah,
she
because she
doesn't
didn't know. Did you do this on purpose? How did you do it? Why, okay, now I know how it happened. It was all emotional. You're not trained. You just have immense power.
Rep the Comics One, that $4.99 super chat. Why did Hayward tell Wanda you have the power? You could bring him back if you wanted. Does Hayward know Wanda's true power and how?
I think that was just a guess.
Moment. Oh yeah, in this episode he says it to her.
Yep.
Yeah, but who has she ever resurrected before? I don't understand that.
Nah,
well, maybe he knew Vision's power was based off of chaos magic or something. I don't know.
Maybe he knew that she destroyed the Infinity Stone. And maybe it was that powerful enough to bring it back. I don't know.
Maybe
somebody else had a good comment too here, man. Tom Keogh said, "Remember episode 2? Agnes says Dottie is the key to everything in this town."
Yeah, I saw that.
I think is Dottie Mephisto?
Dottie.
Yeah, I think Dottie's still a witch.
She's sometimes whether she's on Agatha's side or not. That's what we're gonna find out.
I don't think she is on Agatha's side.
You know what's funny? I'm reading the comments. Nobody knows what the hell's going on, man.
Yeah. Dottie is somebody, though. I'll tell you that. Dottie is somebody.
Here's something. You want to rack your brain even more. It's how did Vision buy a house? What does it say? Oh my God! Here it said hello to one.
My man Vision bought a plot. He didn't even buy a house.
Right. He bought a plot right next door to a witch's basement.
Unless that was never really there, and she just created that.
I just thought that was interesting. So I know she came to the town. Agatha came to the town after she felt all this power and all these spells being done. So is that like another kind of like dimension? She was going through all types of portals and stuff. So is that just a portal?
Remember, Matt, that wasn't part of the hex. It still is not. When you go into the basement, it's not under that control. So maybe it's just a little nook and cranny she conjured up,
Yep,
so
that's true.
Pedraza, I was all in on that cicada being Mephisto, watching.
Jennifer
what
Kale.
was the point of that then, right? To throw you off, to mess with you.
Yeah,
Jennifer Kale's a good one.
$4.99 super chat. Thank you, man. Dottie could be Arcana or Jennifer Kale.
Right.
I believe Arcana.
Jennifer Kale has to do with the nexus of all reality. So that's a good pick.
So I think Dottie is good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's a reason. Unless, of course, Agnes was messing with us. There's a reason Agnes took like shots at Dottie almost.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess hopefully we find out. So after we see Wanda, basically the origin story of Westview and everything, we come back. We'll just fast forward to Agatha having the kids. Both kids, she's got them in these, magic ropes. And she's finally figured out what Wanda is. After all of this, Wanda is, she had always thought the Scarlet Witch was a myth and made up and fake. And she references chaos magic. And basically it ends with the Scarlet Witch, right? She says the line.
So is that the first time she gets named that, or it was teased before, right?
Yep.
Right. But the first time she said it, and I think she also is referencing that chaos magic is not supposed to exist.
So that's the thing. That's why she's the Scarlet Witch, because she has this red magic, this chaos magic.
And the color is important because we've seen the blue, we've seen purple, and now Scarlet Witch, Wanda has that red.
Well, also the book, which we didn't see, has like a reddish orange, right? It's kind of somewhere in between. It's not fully red, but.
So Matt, somebody in the chat real early on said, yeah, because that's the book that's missing from Doctor Strange spot, that Agatha swiped that book, and that's how she practiced the dark magic back in the day, or whatever. She didn't take it from Doctor Strange, but whoever the Sorcerer Supreme was at the time.
Yep.
Reno's Comics 5 Canadian. Thank you, my man. When Wanda brought the town back to life, they showed people looking like spirits. Maybe Wanda brought people back from the town back to live as well. Brought people back from the town.
So I think Scarlet Witch also is not technically it's not like Wanda is the Scarlet Witch, but that's more of a role than an actual name.
And that's kind of back when we saw the Mind Stone.
Right.
Was that almost the passing of the torch?
It could have been.
The previous Scarlet Witch, now Wanda becomes the Scarlet Witch?
See, I don't understand what the Mind Stone in the universe of space has to do with witch power on Earth. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Is she a
mutant? I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think it just amplifies Marvel's way of giving Wanda excess powers now that she now has. Because like me and Matt were talking earlier, and Matt said, if you notice when she recreated Vision, she's using that red magic, but it turns into the color of that Mind Stone, right, Matt? When he's being formed.
Yep.
So I think it just was basically, like we said before, enhancing her powers and enhancing her chaos magic.
Jim's got the red in the background.
He's
got Agatha now.
So Maddie, I'm gonna finish up with the end credit scene, and then you wanna get into what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So the end credit scene, we've kind of hinted and talked about it, and I like that now they're starting to do these end credit scenes. Nobody turned it off after last week, right?
Hell no.
Everyone
and it did not disappoint whatsoever.
No. So
nobody saw this coming.
We roll into the S.W.O.R.D compound just outside of the Hex. We see Director Hayward and some S.W.O.R.D agents saying, just talking. Hayward even says, we have tried every power source under the sun. All we needed was a little bit of Wanda's, basically. And they have the drone out there still with that red aura, and they use it to power up Vision's body. And he is a white Vision from the old West Coast Avengers book. And he's moving and he is awake, and we're about to see something go down in episode 9. Javier Batraza, $5 super chat. Why did the town people say Agatha was there and didn't have a home?
No, that was Monica.
That was Monica.
Yep.
Now we're in her home. Yeah, that was Monica, Javier. And that was Agatha doing that, which I think we all said that way back. That Agatha saw Monica as a threat and needed her out.
Oh, yeah, she was an outsider coming in.
And that's because she was pulling the strings on the inside. She didn't want anyone messing it up.
Yep.
So here goes my theory. You ready for my theory?
Well, do you want to hear? Do you want to do your
go Jim. Jump. Say,
well, because first of all, I haven't watched any of those Easter egg videos, any of those guys. So this is just me in my own thoughts. So I'm thinking this. In the comics, White Vision doesn't have his humanity anymore, right? He's an android. So I think what we're going to have here is Hayward sends in Vision to the Hex to try to combat Scarlet Witch, Wanda, to stop the madness here. And I think there's going to be a battle between White Vision and Wanda, and something's going to trigger him to remember who he is. And then it's going to be Wanda and White Vision against Agnes. And that's going to be the big epic blowout showdown of the last episode.
Okay. What about the Vision that's in there?
The Vision that's in there, so that's what we learned, and that was so weird. So he's made up of nothing. What is he made up out of? Maybe
Wanda's emotions.
Maybe when Vision comes in there, he goes away, or maybe they merge, and maybe that's how he becomes Vision again, and not the white android Vision.
Right.
Didn't Agnes say that the Scarlet Witch can just create?
Right. I was going to say, so she alludes to the fact that the town, Vision, and her children aren't real. She didn't actually say that, but she alluded to it. But yeah, with the chaos magic, essentially. So can I get into it for a minute?
Yeah, but one thing too, a lot of people are talking Ultron. Is Ultron inside White Vision as well?
No.
I don't think if you go back and read the comics, guys, go back and read that West Coast Avenger run, and you'll see why Wonder Man was teased in this in this Wandavision show, and you'll see why the Grim Reaper and, like I said, Wonder Man had tied in, because essentially he has Wonder Man died, and it's Wonder Man's conscience inside of Vision. Mm-hmm. When Vision turns white, Wonder Man comes back. He has a thing. It's like a 3-way love triangle: Wanda and Wonder Man, Wanda and Vision, and it's a whole big thing. So go back and read. That's why that Wonder Man trailer was put in there.
So that
Easter egg.
Last part of my theory: Wanda's convinced that the twins are fake, so she doesn't worry about them anymore. End credit scene: we see Ralph with the twins. He's happy that he got what he wanted out of this whole thing, and it flashes to Mephisto, and then boom, you're done.
I like that.
I don't mind that ending at all.
That's my theory.
Yeah, I think you're gonna. So I think multiple villains or big bads or whatever you want to call them come out of this, regardless of whether they see him in Wanda or not. I think that you get a bunch of villains going forward for Doctor Strange. Okay, so I think the big theory that we had a few weeks ago with the Darkhold and Chaos Magic and Chthon, I don't think that's debunked. I don't know if it actually means that it happens inside WandaVision, but I think if anything, this episode actually bolsters that theory. It's the only theory that actually holds water still after everything we've seen. Everything else at this point is kind of just a guess. Like Mephisto, these things, like there's not a lot of evidence to support that, where I think this episode really added to the evidence because, so we talked a little bit about Chthon, you know, most powerful elder god, and essentially he practiced dark magic, black magic, and he perfected it and he intensified it so much that it became his own brand of magic, which was chaos magic. Chaos magic is not supposed to exist. A lot of people believe it doesn't exist. Even Doctor Strange in the comics doesn't believe chaos magic exists until there's a certain scene with Wanda where he realizes it does. Also, I thought this was interesting. In modern comics, a bunch of mages / witches get together and they put a spell basically on the world to make everybody believe that Chthon and chaos magic don't exist. So that kind of reminded me when they, at the beginning with the witches, where they're basically like, you're practicing forbidden black magic to Agatha. It kind of reminded me of that. So I thought that was kind of like a little tie-in. I think Agatha, I think we talked about that. I think Agatha is definitely intrigued as to what Wanda is, how she's doing it, chaos magic. And I think the whole thing is that she's going to want to steal that chaos magic. So in the comics, Mephisto and Agatha, I hate going back to Mephisto, but Mephisto and Agatha team up to try to steal Wanda's chaos magic. Okay, so it seemed like they're like kind of hinting towards that. Agatha's definitely intrigued by her, and I'm sure she wants that magic for herself. Okay, so I'll say that the chaos magic really doesn't have any limit as far as what it can do. It's just based on what how much knowledge the person has of it. So somebody like Chthon, the reason he was all like messed up, he's a demon, he doesn't really have a form, is because he's practiced it so much that it's basically destroyed him, right? So Wanda is limited by what she knows. So like we talked about, she uses hex probability because she doesn't know how to use the magic. And now she doesn't even know how she created the town, but it happened. So the more powerful and the more knowledgeable she gets, the stronger that power gets, and the more that she can do and create and just bend reality. And maybe that's what kind of creates the multiverse. I don't know. So the last thing I'll say is that the only thing we don't know is that book. Okay? Everything else revolving around chaos magic, all roads point to Chthon as being either just an origin or just kind of a nod back to where it started. But if they turn around and they say that book is the Darkhold, then it's unless they retcon it, which is completely possible. You know, that's kind of a slam dunk. And whether he's a villain or not, it's going to be an origin of chaos magic. But I think that's where they're going.
I mean, I know that's how it went down in the comics, but I don't think that they're going to introduce that character because it's just like nobody's going to care. You know, they already introduced Agnes to a mass audience, and we've accepted her. But to throw that at the end, I don't think they're going to do it.
I don't think it would be in Wanda, though. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be more of a Doctor Strange thing. Because that's going to...
Now that they've introduced essentially the Darkhold, you can slip Chthon in.
Even if it's just as an origin, right? Like, right. Doctor Strange is explaining things, because you know there's going to be a lot of that in Doctor Strange 2. There's going to be a lot of explanation about the multiverse and how this happened and how that happened. So whether it's a character that actually has a part in Doctor Strange 2 or not, I still think that character, at this point, I'd be shocked if we didn't see something about him in Doctor Strange 2.
At least being referenced.
No, that makes sense. Doctor Strange 2, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Really quick, Adam C with the $5 super chat. I think Doctor Strange will be the big reveal and will come to retrieve the missing book. I'm on board.
And I agree with that, and this is why I'll tell you why.
Can I do this real quick?
Yep.
Victor Cervantes, if you wake up Vision, you also wake up Ultron. They're connected.
I don't agree
through the Mind Stone, though.
I don't hold on, but why is that? Because okay, how are they connected? I know in the comics they were, right? But the body was just an empty vessel that Ultron wanted to put himself in, but they put Jarvis in that instead,
right?
And used the Mind Stone to give him consciousness. So are they really connected in the MCU?
No. Yeah, I don't think you get it. I don't think you'll ever see Ultron again.
They never actually were.
Marvel's going down this horror path, which basically, so guys, listen. Before this whole COVID-19 thing happened, WandaVision was going to lead into Doctor Strange 2 in the multiverse, right?
And it wasn't supposed to be the first Disney Plus show.
Right, exactly.
They were going to be close, actually, as far as release dates. Yeah.
So think about that. They were supposed to be close. It was supposed to lead right into it. I agree. The more that I think about it now, I think you see Doctor Strange at the end of the episode, and I think that leads into him battling with Wanda, because we already know Wanda's going to be that villain in Doctor Strange too. So that makes sense. She called her the Scarlet Witch. Could that mean she's changing? Which leads me to the picks that I gave Gary. I was like, all right, you know that Scarlet Witch, that X-Men #4 is pretty much out of everybody's reach. You could tell just by sales. It's spiked. It's a book that you cannot reach. But Agatha called her Scarlet Witch. Guys, be up for the books. I'm going to tell you right now. Guy, you want to throw the first one up?
The first one, hold on.
It's 55.
Get your pens ready.
Yep, get your pens ready, guys. That was it. So you want to grab, guys, West Coast Avengers number 55. It is the debut of Wanda as the Dark Scarlet Witch. Guys, I'm telling you, she's going to be a bad guy. The way it ends, we don't know if Agnes obviously has emotion. She's crying. She knows it's sad. I don't think she's that big bad villain. I think she's trying to help, actually. In the comic book, she helps Wanda out her whole, throughout the whole story, raise the kids, who are the spawns of Mephisto, by the way, and we could get into that. But guys, that West Coast Avengers 55, be on the lookout for that rising, because that is the first appearance of the Dark Scarlet Witch, which is the path she's going down right now. And if you're going to grab 55, you might as well grab number 56, because it's the first cover appearance of her as the Dark Scarlet Witch with that new costume on. So guys, 2 books that I'm promising you're going to see spike 100%. She's going to turn into a villain. She's going to be a villain in Doctor Strange too, and that's the path it's going to go down. That's my prediction.
What are these dollar books?
No, they actually went up already. People have been grabbing them. Yeah.
You could grab these for like $5-10 right now. After next week, when we see her as a villain, that's when she turns. We'll see what they go up to, guys. But I believe that's the path it's going down. Johnny
Dakota disagrees. Agatha is a baddie. She's holding the kid hostage.
I think she's bad. Yeah.
You think so? But the kids came out, and are the kids essentially real, or she just created the kids?
Well, that's what we're gonna find out.
I'm gonna go after New Village here. New Village Comics. Paul Bettany said it's an actor he never worked with. They were both in Infinity War. It won't be Doctor Strange. They were both in Infinity War, but they never worked together. They were not on screen together. Doctor Strange was never with the Vision.
What if he meant he's just working with himself because it's the White Vision versus the Vision?
Yeah, somebody in the chat said that. I've heard that. I don't think that's it. I mean, they've I'll tell you what, dude, all the PR work they've done too with this show has been fantastic.
Yeah. Click on
so
Stellar.
It could be himself.
Click on Stellar, because that's another huge point too that I touched on early, but the Darkhold and Cthulhu is how vampires and werewolves get created in Marvel Comics. So it's just another piece that points to that.
And Matt, and we all know that also ties into Doctor Doom and some stuff like that. And we got a video dropping in a couple of weeks about that stuff. Blade, Doctor Doom, the witches. So guys, tune into that.
I still say my theory is we do see Doctor Strange at the end, and whether he's saving anybody or just showing up and taking that book, I don't know. I'd like to see Doctor Strange. We know it leads into it, right?
Doctor Strange is not, his job's not to save a person. His job is to save the reality, right?
So he's going for this book.
And
then maybe we see, instead of the Mephisto with the twins at the end, maybe we see Nightmare, because again, it leads into Doctor Strange as well, I
could see that. They've been referencing Nightmare already. I don't know how that ties in. Like the fear aspect of Nightmare doesn't really tie into Wanda, but maybe it's just the bridge and not necessarily tied to Wanda. Maybe that's just like, hey, Agatha, I'll give you a hand, But
then they're saying again, the thing with the engineer, could it have been that that's not supposed to be a reveal, that she just called her friend to make that whack ass tank that didn't do anything?
Maybe.
It did nothing. It did nothing.
I think they emphasized on it too much, though, for it to be nothing.
I agree.
They had to come up with who's making this big ass tank.
Yeah, but I don't think they would get into it as much and not reveal that character.
What do you guys think about?
I mean, Morbius has to be tied into this.
Nah.
What do you think about Vision? The Visions merging, and the White Vision.
That kind of came to me just came to me while we were talking about it. And I think someone in the chat mentioned it too. But that seems like his consciousness, what the Mind Stone was giving him, is merging with the physical body so that he could leave the Hex and be the same guy. But now does that mean Vision still exists in the MCU after this show? Which I would.
Yes.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming. I think that's what's happening.
But I think I really think that, I'm sure everybody that bought West Coast Avengers 45 is going to be hope that it happens too.
Right.
I think the consciousness and the physical body could end up merging, and then going forward, you get the White Vision for maybe it's a couple more movies,
or he gets colorized again, and he's back to how he was essentially.
I think they'll go colorless because the physical is like the reality, the real reality. It's kind of double negative. The actual body is colorless right now, so I think that's what it would be.
And in the comics, he's permanently damaged from being pieced back together, and that's why he's white.
Yep.
What if Wanda merges the Vision she created with the White Vision, and we get the Vision from the comic books in the future, that red and not the red and green, not like the, like the
I know
Halloween episode 1, but a better looking Vision, just like the original.
Could be.
That's my theory.
I like it.
But I'm on board with the two Visions merging. We get Vision back in the MCU.
And Wanda is Mephisto.
Well, of course, Wanda's Mephisto.
Why are we bringing back Vision into the MCU when we don't have Tony Stark, we don't have Captain America?
It's a good point.
They're not robots.
We don't have Black Widow. We don't have
Super Chat. Thank you so much for that. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think either Vision makes it out of WandaVision.
I think there's a quick answer for that, right? Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen basically got wasted into the entire MCU up until now. Their roles have rivaled anybody else that's played any character in the MCU, and it's not, you know what I mean? Like, you could put them up against anybody.
Well, now.
So for them to just be like, all right, thanks for the great performance, you're out of here. I don't know. I guess it could happen.
I'd be surprised if they're
That's
gone.
Like Catherine Hahn. Do you think she'll be done after this, or you think they're going to keep using her? Because she killed it also.
I think she'll have a reprising role, but nothing major.
Who is that? Monica Rambeau?
No, Agatha.
Catherine Hahn.
Hell yeah, she killed it.
She's got to be back.
Have y'all been seeing all the memes of like, oh, and I also wrote season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, I'm glad that didn't happen, right? The second to last episode, definitely. I mean, well, we don't know what's going to happen.
I thought was going to be the big one.
Yeah, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was bad. It wasn't bad, but I'm going to give it a lower grade than the last two.
Hell no, man. This was a question answering episode, man.
This to me, this was the best episode we
had
yet.
Okay.
Joe still had $2 super chat. If Vision comes back, why isn't he in Endgame? This takes place 2 weeks after Endgame.
After.
Roughly 2 weeks, right? Are we still right? It's about 2 weeks. Yeah, because doesn't Monica go back to work 2 weeks?
Yep.
But okay, the beginning of the season is 2 weeks after, but then didn't they spend months in the Hex or something like that?
I thought it was days.
I thought it was weeks. Each week was a different time period.
It wasn't as long as it seemed inside because they're all camped out outside,
I don't know. Well, all right.
We'll find out the timeline.
We've talked theories. We've broken this episode down. We even talked about a couple books. The one thing we haven't done yet, what are you giving for a grade? Gem, what do you got here?
10. Gem Mint 10.
Oh, my. Maddie.
I'm going
Chaos
backwards.
Maddie.
Chaos Maddie, because, I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm going back one. I'm going, what did I give it last week? A 9?
I think I gave it 10 last week on mine, too.
I'm going 8.5. I'm going 8.5. I love the answers. I feel like it dragged a little bit. That's all I'll say. It dragged a tiny bit, so I'm gonna take a point off.
Jay,
I'm giving it my highest grade yet. I'm giving it a 9 because it started off with Agatha and the witch trials, which was that was pretty crazy. Then it had emotion behind it. It had White Vision at the end. It had a little bit of everything, so I think this is
it had so much backstory about Wanda that we didn't know. It got fleshed out, and they didn't even need to, but they did it, and it's so rewarding, you know.
It touched on almost everything, so I'm gonna give it 9.
James Lynn, $2. All the West Coast of 50 Avengers, 55 have just sold.
Yeah, I bet, because that's the first appearance of her as the Dark Scarlet Witch, and that's the direction she's going in right now. She's gonna bug out when she don't get her kids back. She's unstable now.
What do you give, Gar?
Look, New Village Comics, they were in another movie together in 2009 called Creation. I guess my Doctor Strange theory maybe Dunzo there. Thinking that Paul Bettany was talking about Cumberbatch.
Paul Bettany could be talking about himself because there's going to be 2 visions.
It could be. That's
what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Mine.
It was Bettany all along.
I'm actually going to match last week. I'm going 9.5. I loved the backstory. I'm a sucker for a good story. And like Jem, you basically opened this show saying they took this much of an end credit scene from a movie and turned a whole. I mean, they went deep. We actually got to see it, and they did a great job. Tom Koff, $4.99 super chat. Catherine Hahn killed it, but her character was too sticky to continue in the MCU. Agatha dies next week. I don't think so. I think she's going to be around.
I can see it because, I mean, unless she's in a Doctor Strange type of movie, she's not going to be in an Avengers movie or
right. She's going to go down that horror path.
Well, this story is not over, right? This storyline is nowhere near over. They can't wrap this up in a
2, I hear, right? That's confirmed.
What's that?
That they're not doing a season 2.
I heard they're not doing a season 2.
Which season 2 wouldn't make sense for me because you have all these other MCU shows happening.
Yeah.
Here, let me ask you this. Here's a great question to wrap, and we do have one more episode left next week, but to almost wrap everything up, I'm gonna Jem, I'm gonna go to you first. So right around the horn here. Jem, if this season ends and we get a Doctor Strange 2 and it's good and everything, and a lot of the similar characters, are you going to see a WandaVision type movie? Just like Black Widow has hers, are you going to see a WandaVision with excitement?
I mean, it seems like first I would go see it, but I mean, the thing is this was so much more suited for a television series, and they really took advantage of that. You know, they did stuff that they wouldn't have time to do that in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Which is what 2-hour movie, and they did this in how many episodes or whatever. But I'm a little bit more concerned with the other MCU shows. Like, is Captain America or Falcon and Winter Soldier gonna be able to live up to WandaVision hype? I don't think so, man.
It's gonna be a different type of show. We lost Matt. You know what? He's probably doing what he did last night.
He's gonna get thirsty.
Yeah.
So I don't think you see a WandaVision type movie. What I do think you'll see is a Brotherhood of Mutants type movie, because I think that's the direction they're going in. I think they're going to bring the mutants in. I do think they're going to bring Magneto in. Will it be next episode? I don't know. Will it be could it be a cut scene? I could definitely see that. I could definitely see Magneto coming in at a cut scene, but Marvel has the rights to mutant now. They're not going to not do anything with that. So I don't think her solo movie, more of a movie with her and the mutants and the X-Men, because that's her original path.
And here's the thing, though. I mean, Marvel, all the movies have different genre movies. They have heist movies. They have spy thrillers. They have big blockbuster flicks, you know. So I don't think it's like out of their realm to do a different genre type of movie. But I just feel like they're utilizing the streaming service platform as they should. And then they have the movies where they could do the big kind of stuff.
Matt, what do you think?
So did you mean more like, is there going to be a WandaVision style movie or like an actual Wanda movie?
I would say almost like a WandaVision style movie with them in it. Because we're going to get Doctor Strange, which is going to continue with this story. Would you watch a WandaVision type movie? Like, would you go in with excitement where it's similar to?
I would say I'm with Jem. I don't think it works as well in a movie, which is why they probably figured like, we got to do this as a TV show. Of course I'm going to go see it. But I honestly, if that got announced, I'd probably say I'd rather something else take its place.
All right, just curious. Yep. This is it now. This is the last episode of theories, probably, because we're going to get a lot of stuff wrapped up next week. So is there anything you guys want to say before we get into next week?
What about Joseph Shaw's comment? Why would Wanda wait 5 years to find Vision's body?
She disappeared. Snapped. She wasn't around.
She got snapped.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Josh. You're making me look bad over here, man. I mean, Joe, not Josh. My bad.
Does anyone have anything to add? This is important because next week, that's it. We're closing this out.
I feel like we're going to be upset with the amount of unanswered questions that we have. And we're going to have to wait to Doctor Strange 2 to find out a ton.
Prepare yourself to not see mutants and not see Mephisto.
I agree.
And then if we do get something like that, great. But otherwise, you're going to see the Vision thing versus Wanda. She gets him to realize that he's Vision. Then they take down Agatha, and then that's it.
Don't forget Monica, right? Monica is probably going to flesh out a little bit more than Wanda.
And Pietro / Quicksilver, like they're still...
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they had the end credit scene for some reason, right?
Right.
He's the one who got Monica.
Yeah.
Right. There's still some... That's, I think, probably you're going to get the fight, but the biggest thing I think is going to be Monica and Pietro. Where does that go? I think those are the answers that you get, but everything else is left unanswered.
Monica takes down Pietro. Wanda brings Vision to his senses. Then they all three fight against Agatha.
I think Tim $4.99. I think we're more likely to see Professor X peep her trying to get into Agatha's head. Maybe Professor X speaks to her telepathically. I don't think we're getting Professor X, but I'm going to say this. Go way back to episode 4. Who is this missing person? Or this?
Yeah, it's a good point.
The fan is Wonder Man.
I think it's Wonder Man. That's what I was gonna say.
That's such a lame name, though, man.
Yeah, it is. That is a lame name.
Jay,
I tell you what, though. I bet there's gonna be 2 cutscenes next week, and that second cutscene is gonna have answers to who the next big bad Marvel villain's gonna be.
Yeah.
Solve for X Comics $4.99. Going to post a video on my channel tomorrow. Spoiler tease: Wanda created Agatha. Lore is the villain.
No,
I mean, I'm sure he's got some facts behind it. I'd love to see that video just to kind of see where his head's at.
She's been around before Monica, before Wanda, don't know.
Right. We had the Salem scene from 1693.
Right, exactly.
A lot of people saying Professor X, Reed Richards. Well, I don't think we're getting Reed. I never thought we were getting Reed.
Nah, too big of a character.
I thought it was a possibility. I wasn't like 100%, but
there's 2 characters that Jay doesn't want to see in the next week. Dr. Doom and Reed Richards.
Yeah, those are 2 characters I definitely do not want to see.
Daredevil.
Who I do want to see is Adam Brashear, though. I think we're gonna see him.
Not as the Blue Marvel, though, but as Adam Brashear.
That's his name. Yeah.
I think we'll see Adam Brashear.
I think that's it.
I'm about to pass out on my desk after last night and tonight.
After last night, guys, thank you so much. We got our grades. We're doing this one more time, and then we're heading over to Pressable Defects for Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Are you guys excited? Are you ready?
Yeah, guys. And we dropped a video on what books to get already. Before we already knew what happened with Agnes and all, Cathan and all these theories in this show and how the books shot up. So go check out our channel on Pressable Defects. We told you what books to get before Falcon Winter Soldier. Affordable books that you could grab now that are also going to go up in value. Guys, and before I leave, West Coast Avengers 55 and 56. Those are still cheap books, guys. You could find them in dollar bins.
Jem, what do you got going on this week?
Yesterday I dropped a video on White Vision. Today I dropped a Lobo Maquette unboxing. So check that out.
I like that. That statue is cool.
It's dope. Martin Canale sculpt. Very nice piece. Tomorrow I'm gonna go live in the morning with Fee. We got Gem Crate giveaways, and I got this Sideshow Rancor statue, man. This huge Rancor Star Wars piece.
That's Tank right there.
I'm gonna put that out. I got a funny intro skit for that too, man.
Is that
That's the Rancor. So I'm gonna put that out on Monday. I got that Spawn compendium.
Oh, that's so dope.
Video for that.
That's gonna be a good video. People have been waiting for something like that.
Jem, what's that collect?
Issues 1 through 50.
And a hardcover?
Damn.
Nah, soft cover. That's the thing.
Oh.
So Todd doesn't get into the hard. I mean, he made those 3 deluxe editions that were like absolute format style, and they went. I sold them for a grip, man. Like recently, I was like, "Fuck it," the compendium's coming out, and I'm on this mission right now anyway. So yeah, that's what I got coming out, man. New comic book day reviews on Wednesday. So come to the channel, swing on through. We're doing a giveaway for 125K. We're giving away the Spider-Man premium format. Nice. Can you see it?
No, but I know which one you're talking about. Wait, in the far left corner. I got you.
Yeah, in the corner.
Yeah, light it up.
There he is.
Solved for X Comics, $1.99. The spec is Scarlet Witch #2 from 1994. Tomorrow's video.
Heard it here first.
There you go.
So, that's all that's going on with me. Thank you so much for the auction last night. Shit was crazy. I think we gave tracking numbers to like 80% of the stuff, so we got a little bit left, and everything goes out on Monday.
Jay got his stuff out. My stuff's going out Monday and Tuesday. Maddie's going to get his stuff out sometime Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, yeah.
Monday. Everybody should have stuff by the end of the week. Saturday at the latest in hand. So thanks for everybody coming to last night's auction, and thank you guys for doing this now 8 weeks in a. Can you believe it's 7 weeks? Can you believe it's been 7 weeks?
Yeah, it's been fun. I enjoy doing this with you guys just as much as watching, because honestly, everyone here has a great mind for this stuff, and I love hearing, especially when we have different opinions. I think it's great.
That's my favorite.
I forget the chat I love the chat, but sometimes I forget they're here because I like just hearing you guys.
You know what it is? It's just like when I do the new comic reviews. When you talk about it, like you retain it better, and then the discussions, it helps you really remember everything that you absorb.
I think so too. We got one left.
Let's do it.
So that's it. We got everything out on the table. We have one episode remaining. Guys, thanks again to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for all those super chats. Thank you guys in the chat for those theories. And of course, thank you 3 guys. And we'll be back next week. Everyone have a great night. Enjoy the final episode of WandaVision.
Later, guys.